I would like to welcome in Nassau County Legislator Delia DeRiggi-Whitton. Legislator, thank you so much for being with us. Talk about this newly passed mask ban and some of the motivation behind the legislation.
Okay, well, first of all, the piece of legislation that was passed was submitted by the administration, which is the Republican portion of our legislature. Our caucus agrees with what the premise of their legislation is, which is that no one should be harassed by someone who they can't identify they can't identify them due to a mask. However, the piece of legislation that was submitted is not going to stand up to judicial review. We've had Republican attorneys say that, we've had Democratic attorneys say that, we've had former judges say it. There's a fine line of protecting us from people that are concealing their identity on purpose and protecting the rights of those who wish to wear a mask, primarily from the ones I've heard, for health reasons.
Yeah.
The bill that was submitted is not going to survive because it basically allows just the act of wearing a mask to be enough for someone to be questioned, number one, and then possibly fined if it is determined that their intent might be nefarious. Now, you can't charge someone with a crime just based on intent. There has to be an act that follows it. The Republican piece of legislation does not have that. There's also something called the First Amendment rights, which means that I can't just walk up to someone and say, why are you wearing a mask? And put the onus on that person to explain why, especially if it's a health reason or something that they don't want the public to be aware of. They have privacy laws. We cannot change the Constitution for this piece of legislation. So we have to have it fit into our laws that exist in the United States. So there is a way to do that, and there are states that do that. And one of the ones that we sort of matched ours to says if you commit a crime and you're wearing a mask, it can be escalated. Now, that would really have helped with everything from the January 6th situation to all these other situations. But the real problem is you're talking about just wearing a mask alone qualifying to be convicted of or charged with a misdemeanor. That is not only $1,000 crime and something on your record, it also could lead up to a year in jail. And I've heard from many police officers that they don't feel comfortable being the ones to decide if someone's just sitting watching something quietly, and wearing a mask. There's a few other conditions, including private property. So even if you just walk into a store wearing a mask, it could be a problem if you don't have permission. So our legislation took their intent and just made it something that we can, it's much more focused, and it's much more possible, and it still protects our people with the First Amendment rights.
Right, yeah, because there's certainly question on how this can be enforced, because as you said, there are exceptions for religious and health reasons. I want to talk, progressives are calling this measure part of a culture war that targets demonstrators. What is your response to that? How was that discussed during what became, I know, a very heated debate as this legislation was being discussed?
It was. And, it's interesting because it's a very fine line. And sometimes in government, you find yourself that way of protecting everyone's rights. We do want to protect everyone who would feel threatened in a public situation. None of us want to see that happen. None of us. However, we also want to protect those that feel that they have the right to wear a mask to protect themselves or their loved ones or people that they're working with from getting COVID, which is still real. We just had an uptick in numbers. And honestly, I've known a few people that are very sick with it right now. Again, the Constitution says that you cannot walk up to someone and question them why they're wearing a mask. So you can't even ask them if it's for health reasons or for religious reasons. They don't have to tell you. So now where are you now? Because now, if they don't tell you, does that mean they're not complying? I mean, it could just become a real problem.
So really quickly, what do you think ultimately happens with this legislation?
So unfortunately, we did submit. We tried to meet with them. They didn't meet with our attorneys. Then we So we wrote our own piece of legislation, which they wouldn't consider. So now they filed it. I'm sure the county executive will sign it. It'll go into law, but I'm sure it'll be questioned. And I honestly don't think it's going to stand up. And maybe at that point, we can get together and come up with a solution that's worthwhile, that does, unfortunately, is going to cost taxpayers a lot of money to do this. But our bill is a really good example of something that would work and stand up to judicial review and protect everyone's rights across the board. And that's what we're looking for.
Well, Nassau County Legislator. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.